What's up, guys? Brent Hess here with Cagezilla Unchained, brought to you by the Wild Style Network. We are here talking about our huge upcoming Cagezilla 87 card, October 25th, and we are here with none other than Mr. Cliff, the Rottweiler Richards, who's going to be in a huge catchweight fight at 180 pounds. Cliff, how you doing today? Thank you for joining us, my man.
Hey, how you doing, boss? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's give our audience a chance to get to know you a little bit. So go ahead. Let's start it right up, man. Give us a little of your background, maybe your upbringing a little bit, if you want to share, and kind of what led to MMA for you.
Sure. So, I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh, where I grew up wrestling, and I wasn't college bound, which is pretty much the end of your wrestling. And I hadn't gotten into any other martial arts up to that point. Found a kickboxing gym down the street, and it was fun again. Like, I love wrestling, but 9 years of that, it's not always fun,
Yeah.
And it was cool that I became more well-rounded. So at that point, I needed to find an MMA gym, and I fell in love with learning more and becoming, different kinds of dangerous.
Yeah.
Anytime a training partner would whoop my ass with something that I wasn't used to seeing, like, oh man, I got to go learn that now.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And I'm sure being active duty in the U.S. Marine Corps, that makes you a certain kind of dangerous as well. So, thank you for your service, by the way, too. I got to start with that. So, being an active duty Marine sergeant, tell us a little bit about that experience before we get to your fight. Tell us a little bit about that experience a little bit, and maybe how that has helped shape and mold you, not only as a fighter, but just as a person.
Right. So I wouldn't be where I'm at today without the Marine Corps. I mean, it taught me how to be a leader, and how to take initiative. And as much as I love the Marine Corps, it hasn't always worked out with my fighting life. I had breaks in my service. I got in when I was 23 years old, stayed in for 4 years, got out for 7, and came back in 2 years ago. And most of my fighting was in between. It's been very difficult to balance both. Both lives are very demanding. And so a lot of my training now has been, I've had an unconventional camp getting ready for this fight.
Yeah. And are you involved in any of the combatives with the? I know sometimes the armed forces have certain combatives courses and things like that. I'm sure you do that, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm now a black belt. I earned that just a couple months ago, and I am a martial arts instructor in the Marine Corps. Every now and again, when one of the other instructors run a course, I'll come in as a SME. Go over some groundwork, some striking, and I try to contribute in any way that I can.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Yeah, we have our light heavyweight champion Shane Marshall is in the Marine Corps, and I know quite a few other guys in the Marines. I mean, you guys are awesome individuals and great leaders. So like, once again, I appreciate that. Now moving into your fight upcoming, I know you've had most of your competition and your training experience in Pennsylvania, where you're from. This fight with Rob Carrison kind of came about fairly organically. I mean, one of those fights where you reached out to me saying you guys had agreed to meet under the bright Cagezilla lights here. And I guess first of all, what do you know about Rob, I guess, headed into this big one for you come October 25th?
So I know he's got a Muay Thai background. I know he's the taller guy. That's just how it always is, but I know he's taller. He's got a bigger frame, and he's younger.
Okay.
So I'm sure he's going to try to keep the fight on his feet, keep the range at a place where it works for him, and, not let me inside and not let me take it to the ground.
Not let you do your thing, man. Yeah, it sounds like you got a good amount of grappling experience, so that might be favorable for you. I've seen some of your photos online, man. You're just picking guys up and slamming them to the ground, man. That must be your thing. That's awesome, man. Once the Rottweiler gets a hold of you, it's tough to battle that. Now, tell us, Cliff, what sort of energy will the Rottweiler be bringing into Cagezilla 87? what are you feeling coming into this big one here at the Salisbury Center? What are you envisioning? Give our Cagezilla Unchained audience a little preview of what they might be able to see here come October 25th.
Violence. I plan on mauling my opponent. With respect to him as a man and everything he plans on doing, I'm not underestimating my opponent, but I will impose my will on him. I'm going to control the fight. I'm going to control the pace. I'm going to put him where I want him, and I'm going to dominate.
Nice. Pretty confident there, and I can see that look in your eye, man. So that's a great thing to see, and I'm excited to see it. Well, hey, give us. I'll throw you one question from our fan zone before we get into the last part of our interview here to conclude. I always like to kind of ask, what, especially you being in the armed forces, who are some of your favorite fighters that you like to watch to maybe emulate their style? Do you follow, or do you prefer to watch maybe some fighters who have been in the armed forces too? You know, I know some guys like Tim Kennedy and some of those guys I really respect as fighters along their journey. Who are some of your favorite guys to watch, whether it be MMA or boxing or anything?
So right now, my favorite guy to watch, and he ain't even doing all that hot, is Michael Chandler. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Even Dana White says after these losses that he's still got a shot on the roster because he's so exciting to watch. The man's explosive.
Yeah.
Especially that first round.
Yeah.
With grenades going off. So I love watching Chandler fight.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I love Chandler too, man. I you know, he's a guy, like you say, he kind of goes out on his shield. He's trying to die in there or go out on his shield, and he's putting everything into it. Another guy, like a wrestler like yourself, explosive guy, get guys up in the air and put them on the floor. But he's got some nice kicks too, as we saw with Tony Ferguson. So yeah, one of my favorites as well, man. That's great. And then a second question from our fan zone, because I'd like to hear from you too, because you know, I know you got a ton of stuff going on between being a Marine and training and everything. What is a typical training day when you're training for a fight? What does a typical training day look like for you?
So it looked different when I wasn't in the Marine Corps. You know, sometimes I got these long hours, and sometimes I get sent places for, you know, maybe a week or so at a time. So I needed to find time in order to get ready. You know, that meant a lot of early mornings and a lot of late nights.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of times I'm the first one here at work or, you know, at the gym, wherever I can find a heavy bag, get my work in there, get my work in the swimming pool. I'm definitely catching some sort of evening class of work, and doing some sort of strength training, or running at night. With as much as I've moved around in recent years and as much as I've been off deck recently, it's been a struggle to develop a rapport the way that I would want to going into a fight. So that's part of how I talked about this unconventional approach. So you know, one of the things I had to do was I reached out to an old friend. He's a retired pro, Matt Lascola. I grew up wrestling with him. I know how to work with the guy. I can trust him. And so that's who's going to be cornering me in this next fight.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And with the way that I have to work and the Marine Corps is so demanding, I realized that I wouldn't have that ideal, you know, big break in months where I know I'm going to get ready. I know I'm going to get weight down. So you asked for quotes. You know, I learned that I have to be ready so I don't have to get ready.
Yeah, you moved right into it, man. That was my next one.
Yeah,
so go ahead and give it to us. What's your quote that you can share with us that maybe could empower our audience? Yeah.
Yeah, be ready so I don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that if I was going to fight, it was going to be a short window where I was going to be able to execute. So I had to already be getting ready for a fight. I've been training my ass off, and I saw this little window, and it's like, okay, cool. I can kick it into another gear in this next month and absolutely be ready for this fight. Wake up, be damned. Let's go and get it.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Be ready so you don't got to get ready. And that sounds like exactly how you're operating at this point in time, man, because it sounds like you're getting your workouts in a couple times a day. You're squeezing them in when you can. You have already been inside the cage, which is something that I think you have an experience advantage over Kerrison, and you'll be able to kind of mentally take that into the cage. And, from what it sounds like, you'll be physically imposing your will on them. So that's great and exciting for us to hear, man. Well, I'm excited to see you in here making your Cagezilla debut at least. Give us a way we can follow you. If you got social media handles, your team, anybody you want to give shout outs to,
Absolutely.
Go ahead and give it to us now.
So you can follow me at the Rottweiler_MMA on Instagram, and I'm just Cliff Richards on Facebook. If you could please give me a follow there.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to give a shout out to my sponsors.
Okay.
We got Captain Jerry's, Exile Inc., Shorty Spot, Nuddle Paints, The Taco Guy, TGDY.store, and Goodies Donuts.
Hey, we'll save the donuts for after weigh-ins, maybe.
I always do. But without them, I wouldn't be able to get all this done. So I appreciate all their support.
That's awesome. Yeah, sponsors are a very important part of a fighter's journey, and it's great for you to not leave one out and give them their shine. So, well, hey, Cliff, thank you for joining us here today. I know you got a ton of stuff going on between work and training and just everything, man. You're showing up in this interview in your uniform, so I know you're probably bouncing off to something else after this.
Yes,
so,
yes.
So thank you once again. I hope training and everything continues to go awesome for you. You stay healthy. Which I think is one of the more important things leading up to a fight. So stay healthy and keep training hard. And man, I'm excited to see you. Thank you once again for joining us here on Cagezilla Unchained.
Thank you, Mr. S.
All right, there you go, guys. Cliff the Rottweiler Richards will be in an exciting fight come Cagezilla 87, October 25th, our Halloween fight night. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you guys are picking up tickets at CagezillaTickets.com. Until next time, much love and respect. We'll see you guys all very soon.